Chelsea's record against Arsenal in recent seasons is not great. At the Emirates, it's even worse than it is at Stamford Bridge. And so, yeah, Chelsea's backs are against the wall in this one. And if you think about the game earlier on this season, or just a month ago, in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final, Chelsea didn't really put their best foot forward. Rosenior came with a proper defensive approach. So I think for Chelsea in this one, the best way to approach it, if you look at the past fixtures and Chelsea have kind of tried to play the opposition, I think Chelsea should try and play their own game. Chelsea at the top end have got some of the best players, not just in the league, but in the world, in my opinion, and the likes of a Cole Palmer or a Reece James. And so if Chelsea are at their best, they can take on anybody. We've seen it in the Premier League this season already. Chelsea, or in all competitions, Chelsea beat Barcelona in the Champions League. Chelsea beat Napoli, the champions of Italy, in the Champions League. Chelsea beat Liverpool, the champions of England, in the Premier League. Got a good draw at home against Arsenal with 10 men, and got a draw with Callum McFarlane as our manager against City at the Etihad. And so Chelsea at the top level can take on anyone. I think we just need to play our game, and that's the best way to get a result at the Arsenal.
Can I ask a question? Why is it that you tend to perform in these bigger games and against the lesser teams you struggle? I'm really curious. You don't really see that often.
Do you know what it is? The reason why Arsenal are the best team in the world, or one of the best teams in the world, is because they're consistent. And I know that's gone kind of awry in recent weeks. But Arsenal are like the most consistent team in the Premier League. Chelsea's ceiling, I fully believe this. Chelsea's ceiling is as good as the best teams in the world. Like I referenced the previous fixtures, also beat PSG 3-0 in the final of the Club World Cup, and this is the PSG team that's been spanking all the English teams up until then. And so I just think Chelsea's top level is really high. I think Chelsea's floor is as low as teams that are 14th, 15th in the Premier League, and that's why we've seen draws at home against Burnley and Leeds and losing against Sunderland and Brighton at home. So yeah, I just think Chelsea's floor is really low, but our ceiling's really high, and so we can play up against anybody. It's 2021 Chelsea last won against Arsenal. At that moment in time, Thomas Tuchel was our manager. We had just signed Romelu Lukaku. We were in a position that Arsenal are in right now where we're thinking this is the year that we win the league. Just won the Champions League, just bought our striker, the missing piece of the puzzle. We are good to go for the league. And we started that season on fire and battered Arsenal at the Emirates. Now the tables have fully turned. We are where Arsenal were back then, a young team trying to find their identity, and Arsenal are where we were in terms of we want to win the biggest trophies available. And so for me, the record is the record, and records are there to be broken. As Chelsea fans probably wear it more than the players, because we have to deal with our mates who are Arsenal fans reminding us that they always get one over on us. But this Chelsea-Arsenal record or rivalry, it goes in streaks. And so I remember like the early noughties, back end of the 90s, early noughties, Arsenal had an incredible record against us. And then the Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, John Terry era, we were almost unbeatable against them. And then in recent seasons, since 2021, they've kind of gone on a run and I've got a dominant record against us. But like I said, records are there to be broken. And I think this is a perfect opportunity with the dangling carrot of harming Arsenal's title charge. There should be plenty of motivation for those players to go out there and do it on Sunday.
Kweku, this is me. The last time Chelsea beat Arsenal, I posted this on Facebook. You read that?
Yeah. What process? I'll take her out. Yeah, man.
Isn't it unbelievable how times change?
Yeah, oh mate, it's crazy. And like the fact that like I remember that stage of your process, and Chelsea and Arsenal weren't comparable. This was kind of the genesis of the Saka Smith Rowe era of Arsenal, where you were starting to find your identity. But yeah, that was a Chelsea team that was completely different to where we're at right now. We were champions of Europe and looking to dominate English football. Didn't quite work out, but that's where you are right now. So I'm sure you can relate with how I was feeling back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember after that game, I remember Lukaku had an interview and they asked him, I don't know why, but they asked him, would you join Arsenal? And he sort of laughed it off. And I just thought, we are miles off it, miles behind them. How are we ever going to catch on? And it's unbelievable that, I mean, it is a long time ago now, but, 5 seasons later, it's a complete 180 or 360, whatever you want to call it, and now you're in that exact position where you're unsure of your gaffer. I know he's actually done pretty well. The only teams that he's lost to is Arsenal so far, but yeah, we're light years ahead, it feels.
Chelsea fans are going to go to the Emirates expecting the team to compete against Arsenal. We're acutely aware of how good Arsenal are. We're not necessarily a delusional fan base. We might be a harsh fan base, but we understand where we're at in relative to the teams we're playing up against. And Arsenal are a better team than us, but it's a Chelsea team that, like I said, at our top end, at our very best, we can compete and beat the best teams in the world, as demonstrated this season, the back end of last season. So I expect to see a Chelsea team that go out there and compete, right the wrongs of the game against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup second leg semi-final, where we were too defensive and Rosenior maybe should have gone for it a little bit more. Go there with your best players, pick your best team, and go and compete, because this is a Chelsea team that, there's a dangling carrot of harming Arsenal's title charge, but we also want to qualify for Champions League. We want to finish in the top 4 or 5 positions in the league, and with Liverpool's, I wouldn't say resurgence, but I just see Liverpool coming, and the fact that Villa are dropping off, there's definitely an opportunity for Rosenior to go do that. And if he gets that done in his first season or half a season as Chelsea manager, there's a good platform for next season. So Chelsea fans want to see their team go out there and compete. We don't want to see our team go out there and feel like we're inferior to Arsenal, even though we know that. We want to see our team go out there and play their best football and see whatever happens on Sunday after the final whistle. But I'm not nervous watching Chelsea going into these games. I'm more nervous about playing against Burnley or Leeds or those games we're expected to win. Against the best teams, I know that our team can operate at the highest level, and I expect to see that at the Emirates on Sunday.
What do I fear most about Chelsea? I wouldn't say that there are any on-field worries, no disrespect. You've got a good team, you've got a good side, you've got great individuals, Enzo, Caicedo, Palmer, but I think man-to-man will deal with you. What I do worry about, and I said that I actually am not worried about it, but I am a little bit, is Chelsea's tendency to be Chelsea. Over the years they've come into games like this and they've won games like this. It's just the Chelsea way, which is, I can admit as a rival fan, you're coming into this game with the sole purpose to ruin our title hopes and to get Champions League. And when you compare the stakes, this is everything to us. And I think that, with all due respect, you've got nothing to lose. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say nothing to lose, but everything to gain, though.
Yeah, that's right. That's the right thing to say. Nothing to lose. And that's what worries me a little bit, because I don't want our players to get too emotional, too caught up and feel that the world is watching them. I want us to play our football and do what we do best. I'm not worried. I haven't got any particular worries. I think I've said it before, people take the piss out of me, but the only thing that will stop us is us.
A win for Rosenior in this game against Arsenal would do huge things for his PR, because I was on record and saying that he didn't deserve to be appointed Chelsea head coach. I think the way they got rid of Maresca was unceremonious, and we talk about this ownership group and their impact on Chelsea over the last 3 or 4 seasons. But they are objectively more ruthless than Roman Abramovich, who was viewed as being the most ruthless owner in football. Roman Abramovich, in his first 4 seasons as Chelsea owner, got through 2 managers. Got through Claudio Ranieri, who inherited, and Jose Mourinho in his first 4 years as Chelsea owner. This new group, Clear Lake, have gone through 5 or 6 managers in their first 4 years. And so this is... For Rosenior, he knows that he can't rest on his laurels. He might be a blue coat man, but if he doesn't perform well and Chelsea don't qualify for the Champions League or win a cup competition, he could be out the door as well. So a win would be absolutely everything. And to the outside public, who kind of like to call him LinkedIn Liam or all the names that we've seen online about Rosenior in regards to his personality and how he talks in press conferences, a win against Arsenal, who are one of the best teams in Europe, will do huge things for his PR. 4:30 Sunday. This is the All Eyes on Me fixture, the premier fixture in the Premier League. And a win against Arsenal when everybody's watching will be absolutely huge. And it'll be galvanising for this young group of Chelsea players that are still learning, are still the youngest group of players in the Premier League. Last year it was the youngest squad in Premier League history. They are learning on the job, but a win at the Emirates against one of the best teams in the league will do huge things for the confidence and should put Chelsea in a prime position to qualify for the Champions League through their league position this season.